in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bone. Hello, and welcome to the show Steps to Leap podcast. My name is Rochelle, a follower of Yahweh, a wife, a mother, author, and a three-time stroke survivor. My sickness tried to keep me down, but I just look up and leap. Why steps to leaps? Let me break it down for you. Your steps are believing negative advice from others, making timid moves, blocking your way to success, and not having confidence in God and yourself. Your leads are having positive people around, making boss moves, striving to be successful, and most importantly, knowing whom will be with you and that you are awesome. So we will hear from some amazing guests and their amazing stories, testimonies, and journeys. To share with us this week is Aaron Avila, and this is a little bio on him. My name is Aaron Avila. I am CEO of Stroke TV Media, host of our streaming TV podcast, and I am a survivor of a near death experience caused by a brain aneurysm and stroke. As a result of my brain injuries, I have become an advocate of the stroke survivor community. Much of our content, podcasts, blogs, etc., focus on lifting up the stroke survivor community and encouraging them to live as fully as possible in their second chance life. So we have heard a little bit about Aaron. So now he will share the rest. So welcome, Avila, to the podcast.
So what an honor to be at Rochelle. You know I'm a big fan of yours, so I'm a fan of yours.
And I am a big fan of yours as well. So your first question is, can you describe one word to describe you before the stroke, before all your accomplishments, and one word after?
Well, I would say before stroke, I was free.
Free? Okay. Okay. And after?
After my stroke, I was in prison because I felt like a child in my body. Biggest life changer. Yes, it encompass one word. But in all reality, after my stroke, my brain injury stroke. During that time, I had a near-death experience. That really was really my life changer. It wasn't my stroke. It was my brain aneurysm. It was a near-death experience. And that was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Okay. So we can say that one word after, because
Yeah, I almost got my
was
first time.
changing, was
Yeah.
changing. Yeah, that word, one word is changing. Okay, yeah. So can you tell us a bit of Aaron? No, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Well, my biggest heart passion is like yours. I live for helping stroke survivors. That's what I do. That is, if I was to I say what brings most pleasure and most joy in my life is serving the stroke community and helping stroke survivors around the world.
Mhm. Very, very good. And that is a noble cause to be in. So we are going to talk about one, your elite, and your elite is your spiritual elite coming to the Lord. So what year did you come to the Lord?
Well, in all reality, my life changed. I'm a September 17th, 2010. And really, during that near death experience, my eyes were open. The old song, Means Grace. I was blind, but now I see. I saw what the world really was. I saw life I didn't know existed. That what we see, what you and I are living in right now is the world. And it's something, our life is not that. We are eternal spiritual creatures, you and I, learning to live inside the human body. So when I'm in the experience, that really was the eye-opening transformation, they call it being born again. And our life, literally, at age 47, I was born again.
Yeah. What wonderful and wow. That, things like that really, really makes you think and realize I do not have no power over my life. There has to be someone else. So that's
You,
a
you know that
powerful.
that's really true, Rochelle, because most of us, before my stroke, my near-death experience, I, we think we're in control of our life when we're really not. Really, God
Yeah,
is in control of everything.
correct, correct. Can you explain that day that you had your stroke? What was Aaron doing that day?
Yeah, it's funny, Bertha. My brain aneurysm exploded first. So I get up that morning, took my shower as normal. And I guess what I don't understand. I went unconscious for about 2 months, about 2 weeks, sorry. And so I got in the shower, my brain aneurysm exploded in my head. I went unconscious. I then wake up for probably 2 weeks in the hospital because I was in a
Oh,
coma. Now, my stroke occurred during my coma. I was in the coma. So, yeah, I had my brain aneurysm. While I was in the coma during my second week of being in the coma, I had a stroke. I don't even recollection of it. None.
oh wow. Wow. I understand very, very, very well of being up and well and then waking up and like you're seeing strangers around you or over you. So I understand that. When you came, you can say come to, I understand what is happening. You decided to let the Lord lead your life because of your near death experience. And what you could say your life was before that.
Well, I before this experience, I went to church, and I experienced church, man-made
Mm-hmm.
religion.
Mm-hmm.
What I experienced when I my near-death experience, the spiritual side of life, meaning what I learned is that we're living in a physical world, but we are governed. you and I, everybody in this world, the world itself is governed by a spiritual God. God governs everything, but we think because we can see it, it's real. But you cannot see God. But I know, I guarantee you, it's real. And so before I was religious, and I had a knowledge of who God was, a knowledge of what being born again was, all the, what comes with religion. But now reality, that near-death experience opened my eyes to the real spiritual truth of life. And it was night and day. I mean, when you talk about being born again, I did feel like I died. You know, there's a saying that says, in spiritual order to live, I had to die. And that saying is so true for me. In a spiritual way to live, I had to die to myself. I had to
Yeah.
die to what I used to be. And I had to be born again into a spiritual person I am today.
Yeah. Ah, you are speaking truth.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Aaron. After your stroke and coming out of the hospital, how was rehab? Trying to do everything again. How was that experience?
I found rehab to be a two-edged sword because it was good. It was trying to make me better. And that's fine. But it also, the other edge of the sword is that rolling around that table, I paralyzed, unable to move properly. I realized I really messed up. And that really kind of made me realize what stroke had done to me. So the one edge therapy is great. Great to have it. Great to have the help. The other side is it made me realize how messed up I was.
Uh, Having a stroke, especially a massive stroke that affects your body and your brain, everything. You're a baby again. You know, you have to depend on everyone. And coming from being so independent, being put in that situation is not easy at all. So yes, it's a messed up, it's a
Yeah,
messed up
yeah,
thing
that's so
indeed.
true. I think the two words that I would have picked are independent, because before my stroke I was independent, but after my stroke I became I'm dependent to this day,
Yeah,
12 years later.
yeah, yeah, because your body is changed. It's totally changed. And yes, there are some others that do not have a stroke um so massive, so they're able to bounce back, you know. Although you have a little change in their brain, they're still able to um bounce back. But there's others like you and me who have a deficit. You know, it could be your speech, your body. It could be paralyzed or partly paralyzed. So constant confusion and everything. So yes, it's a mess up thing to happen, but at least sometimes it opens our eyes to who really is running this world and running our life.
You
I'm
know,
glad
I
that
think that's, that's so true, Rochelle. So many years of my life I spent thinking I was in control. I was not in control. I look back now that my eyes been open spiritually. I can see the hand of God in my life since I was born. And so I think everybody has the ability and choice to accept Jesus and die on the cross for their sins. or not.
Yeah.
So, as you know, what God, He gave us man free will.
Hmm.
And for you, for me, I don't know about you, I'm not interviewing you, but for me, my spiritual transformation, my brain aneurysm and stroke were the tools God chose to use to bring me to the truth.
And that is what you're supposed to do. When things happen, and then you see the tools that you have, and the Lord say, okay, use these tools and go forward in this lane. Once you realize it and go forward, you are doing the Lord's work. So I'm glad that you recognize it.
You know, I
All right.
wanted to say one thing about camera shot. Your speech is so much better. Your face was you had a face pretty bad before, but it's almost gone. I can barely tell. So
It is
congratulations.
a lot of practice, practice, and um, of course, I I still have a little difficult the speak impediment, but I I practice. Even if people don't want to talk to me, I will talk to the Lord loud so that I could try to
Good.
pronounce things all the time. You know, so
Good.
when I tell you, because I never had a speech therapist, I my mother and my husband helped me, and myself and YouTube helped me a lot.
Okay.
That show you. And when I was in the hospital, I prayed to the Lord and said He could take everything else from me, but give me back my speech, and He gave it back.
Are you walking now? Or are you still in wheelchair?
No, just shuffling, but because it's these 3 strokes, it just um put me back, so I'm not walking like that. But I got back my speech.
Yeah, I did. One thing at a
Yeah.
time.
Coming to the Lord, did you have any setbacks or trials or any um setbacks with your family or friends because your thinking, your ways of thinking have changed?
I would have to say some of that is true because I want to tell you a miracle. My wife, who has not been, I have not known, I've been married to her almost 30 years, and she was that hugely spiritual. She was not.
Okay.
A lot of that had to do with some prior experience, some religion, and it was not good. But all of a sudden she began to wake up. It was like a miracle had been taking place. Because here I am, I have a near death experience. My eyes are open to God, to what Jesus did on the cross for me. And now my wife is there. She's actually become spiritual. She's become aware of what God is, Jesus, and it's amazing. It's Rochelle, it's a miracle. My wife is now, I can talk to her about spiritual things. It's amazing.
See what you think that your sickness, that it will be all is me, but the Lord used it to help your wife, to bring her in align with you and help you physically, emotionally, and the most important, spiritually. So that is so wonderful, so
Yeah.
beautiful. And we thank the Lord for your wife.
Yeah.
So now you, I, after your first leap coming to the Lord, which is the best leap anyone could do in life, what did that change in your life? Did that push you to start your own business?
Oh man, God has opened up so many doors. Yeah, I started Stoke TV Media, and I my life is totally, I mean, completely and totally different. I'm a totally different man. I cannot tell you. It's amazing what God has done. Rochelle, stroke of brain aneurysm were the tools God chose to use in my life to change it. And then it's been the best thing that ever happened to me. Stroke of brain absolutely, hands down, is the best thing that happened to me. I would never change it for anything because it brought me to the Lord.
And I agree with you too. But who realize the significance of it, they will say it is the best thing that happened in their life. Yes, it's very good. What year did you leap into starting your own business?
Well, in all reality, did not become awake, like cognitively awake, became I told about 2018. So I'm gonna say in all reality, I became more cognitive around 2018.
Okay. Can you explain or share more about what you're doing, your show, your channel, and everything? Just take it away. Let the viewers and the listeners know.
Okay, obviously, Bobby, as you, Bobby, know, I host a podcast 2 times a week called the Stroke of Genius Podcast. I do a Stroke of Genius podcast, Survivor Experience, every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Stroke TV Media YouTube channel. And then I do another Stroke of Genius podcast, Executive Experience. And that's really for C-suite level executives on LinkedIn. And I also live stream on Fridays at 9 a.m.
Wow. And this is a very, very good program. And everyone, stroke survivors, brain injury survivors, and persons who never had any, they should tune in and learn. You will learn a lot from it, and I enjoy it as well. After after having all of this, what is your mission by having these shows and podcasts and everything? What is the mission? Your mission?
Great question, by the way. I would have to say my desire, my hope, my mission, the reason I do what I do is to let stroke survivors know their life after stroke. That so many times, as you know, so many stroke survivors put a period at the end of their lives and they have the stroke and their life is over. They're waiting to die. But there is another side to that. And that side is there is life at stroke. There's a purpose. Your superpower, your stroke is your superpower. Look at what you're doing, Rochelle. And all because you're stroke. You're now live streaming, you're hosting a podcast. You're probably one of the only stroke survivors in Barbados doing the podcast. I'm kudos to you. So you too found your purpose in your storm. I too found my purpose in my storm.
Yes. You just find your purpose. Yes. Okay. And that is a wonderful mission. And you're doing it. So Be proud, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Did you see a need to start this program, this podcast, your channel? Did you find a need?
Yeah, when I saw the need, I'll tell you the biggest issue I had. Here was laying half paralyzed, unable to speak very well in the beginning when I had my stroke. When the need I saw in everybody on Facebook, all the groups based the value of the person on what they could accomplish, what they could physically do again. Well, here I am half paralyzed. I couldn't do anything. So what do I have value? No. So the need I saw was that people need to know they're valuable with just the way they are. Their value as true survivors are based on what they can do like they used to do before the stroke. It's what they do to life after. It comes to that saying that says life is 10% what happens to you, but 90% of how you respond.
Yeah.
So you and I look at us now. It's how we responded.
Yes, yes, very good. Yes. And that percentage that will make you think and say, okay, what can I do? What what can I add in society? And and yes, persons with strokes, brain injury, everything we can add to any society. And you are showing you are showing that it can happen.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the value, stroke, you said earlier, make you like a baby again. Well, you begin to think you're not valuable, that you really have no purpose being here alive. Sometimes I know supervisors, I even wish, I wondered why I lived. There were times I had those hard times, but we're alive if we can make a difference. We can.
And so what do you get from doing all of this? What what does it do for your heart?
Well, Rochelle, thank you for that question. You know, giving is probably, they say, is the most selfish thing you do. Why is giving so selfish? Because people don't understand the more you give, the more you receive. It's a spiritual law that occurs. The more you give, the greater is the mind you will be a servant. And
Yeah.
so the more you're a servant, the more you give, the more you serve, the more you get back. So my life could not be more fulfilled, more enjoyable than I'm doing now. I'm in a wheelchair, I'm half paralyzed, but that doesn't matter. In my heart means everything. I am full. I am fulfilled.
Yes. And that is all in life. Once you can be fulfilled, that is the most beautiful thing that can happen to anyone. Being fulfilled. You say the right word. Being
Yeah.
fulfilled. After becoming an entrepreneur, did your family or friends attitude change towards you?
Well, I was, yeah. I know I owned my company for 12 years before I had my stroke. Lost everything when I had it. So for my wife and myself, we've always been entrepreneurs. So there was not much difference. So no change really, because we're always entrepreneurs. Always. The only difference in this time, it seems so much more impactful to the world. I'm really helping people, just like you. I am really helping people, stroke survivors, other people, even non-stroke people around the world. So I'm very happy for that. It's changed that.
Okay. Some persons have a negative time and other people have positive time. So thank you for your answer. Are you satisfied with your leap? Your leap to God and your leap to business. Are you satisfied in your life?
Wow. I received my mission. I'm satisfied the way I'm going. But want to have more of an impact, more of an impact in the world. So TV media, my vision that I feel like God has given me, and that vision for Stroke TV media is to become a global hub of content for stroke survivors around the world. So when you are feeling down or you want to know about stroke or a loved one wants to know about stroke or whatever, or you want some inspiration, you'll turn into Stroke TV media and you'll find them. We'll provide you content that will help you out at helping my mood, get you feeling good.
And you will get there. You will get there because it's looking so good already, but the Lord will bless it some more. And I know you will get there. What do you see for your life and business in 5 years?
Wow. I see becoming a viable business. I mean, I understand it takes money to help people. And my passion, I just started a new division company called Stroke Survivor Product Review Company. And what we'll be doing is reviewing different products that will help the stroke survivor. And then we're affiliate. So we'll take that money and then purchase different items, help stroke survivors. So I see myself 5 years really, really growing and helping people.
That is very good. I can't wait to view it. But yeah, I can't wait. Okay. And the last question is, what legacy do you want to leave for your family and the world?
I wanted them to be able to say he was good. He really, really was making a difference, and God was with him. I want the legacy to be. I want to live up. I want to make sure my wife and my son and family are financially taken care of. So I do want to leave them a financial legacy, but even bigger than that, I want them to be able to say God was with him. God led him, helped him build what he built. That's the legacy I wanted to leave is a spiritual legacy.
Yeah, the best legacy anyone could leave is a spiritual, God-filled legacy. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Can you share your social so that we can follow you and find you on online?
Yeah, one of the best ways, Rochelle, is to just type in hashtag stroke TV and you'll find pages. Google, go to Facebook, go to hashtag stroke TV, and you'll be able to find a plethora. But we are Stroke TV Media on Facebook. I also have a support group called Second Chance Stroke Survivors on Facebook. Again, that's Second Chance Stroke Survivors on Facebook. Twitter, Stroke TV Media. YouTube, Stroke TV Media. Pretty much everything is Stroke TV Media.
Okay, and I will put all of his contacts and everything in the description on YouTube and all podcast streaming services. So we want to thank you, Aaron, for being on the show, and all the best to you. God bless, and you will see your name on a higher level later in life. So thank you.
Thank you, my sister Rochelle. Thank you.
If you would like to be on the show or advertise your business services or channel, message me on Rochelle's Blessing on Instagram or email steps to lead 2022 at gmail.com. And you can follow this podcast on Rochelle's Blessing on YouTube or any podcast streaming services. So until next time, be brave, be bold, and believe you can make steps to lead. Blessings.